Hi everyone, welcome back. We're hoping that you're as excited to come back as we are to see you. We're just going to make a short video just to give you an idea of a few of the precautions and a few of the things that we'd like you to do. We'd like you to remember that it's not just for your own safety, but also for the safety of the fellow members, the coaches and the other staff that we've got coming in and out. So please do try and make sure that you listen very carefully and follow each and every one of these instructions. First things first, please make sure you do book in ahead of the class. There are a limited number of spaces, so try and book as well in advance as possible. Please try and avoid any late cancellations. Just with the limited numbers, it's going to make managing this very difficult, and we don't want members to lose the opportunity to come to a session. If you haven't been able to book in, then I'm afraid there won't be space for you. So please just try and look out for the next available spot and come along. If you're booked in at 9 AM, the session will run from 9 AM to 9:45, giving you some time to clean your kit and leave before people come in. If you're arriving to 9 AM, then we're going to ask that you arrive between 5 to 9 and 9 o'clock. If you arrive late, unfortunately, as the front of house will be cleaning up the equipment, we won't be able to, it's very likely the doors will be shut at that point. Please don't arrive too early, as we want to make sure that everyone coming out isn't crossing paths with anyone who's coming in. So that's 5 to sharpish if possible, so you can get in quickly and start cleaning the equipment. When you arrive, have a look at the board. We'll make sure that you're aware of the WOD just before the session, as there are limited spaces around the whiteboard to see what the workout is, and it will be difficult in the big space to explain everything. On the board, we'll also include on here what items are being used today, so that means that when you come inside, you'll know exactly what you need to clean ahead of the session. If you arrive early and the door is shut, then please take note of the waiting area. We're going to mark that out with set spaces to keep people nice and distant, and also keep a clear walkway for people exiting. There's hand sanitizer everywhere. Please make sure that you wash your hands or sanitize your hands ahead of coming in, and also when you leave, and any time that you feel like you've been touching your face or got a lot of touching your eyes or anything like that. When you walk into the gym, please try and make sure that you stay on the right hand side under the rig to leave clear space on the left hand side for anyone who's still cleaning up, including the staff or coaches. When you arrive in your station, each station will be one long lane. Within that station should be every piece of equipment that you will need. So there will be plates, there will be barbells, kettlebells and dumbbells, and anything else that is required. Also in your station there will be a rubber mat for you to work on. We're going to ask that any time that you're perspiring a lot, you're breathing out very heavily, that you make sure you're doing so over a mat. If your hand's touching the floor, for example, during a burpee, then make sure that's only on the mat, as these will be much more easy to wipe afterwards. We're also going to ask that members not only clean when they're done, but also clean ahead of their session, so that they can be 100% comfortable that the items that they're using are very clean. Once you're in your lane, we're going to ask that you please stay within that lane for the entirety of the session. If you do need any other extra pieces of equipment, then please raise that request to the coaches. If you also, for whatever reason, need to use a toilet during the session, then please also, like in school, just stick up a hand, don't be embarrassed, just ask, and that way we can make a clear walkway for you to get to the toilet unimpeded. It's going to be one in, one out within the toilet. So if you see that someone's in there, in the men's side, then please wait on the main gym floor, and in the women's side, try and wait in the changing rooms, which should be nice and empty. When we're doing the strength work, we're going to be using the alternating squat racks. That means that when I'm loading up a barbell, and I do have to step momentarily outside of my lane, but I'm not backing into someone else, they will be in the opposite bay, nice and far away from me. Within each station, it's designed that there's one pull-up bar, with one exception at the far end where we've set up ring rows for the TRX. So if you feel like you want to do pull-ups, then please make sure you avoid this last station. With that being said, we're also going to set up the stations such that the equipment is generally set up for women on this end and then men on the other end. There will be some platforms and some stations in the middle where there'll be an overlap. There'll be both men's and women's equipment, just in case that there's the incorrect number of people. If for whatever reason there isn't that possibility to do that, so there's only a men's barbell left over, then either ask the coach or do your best to just try and use the men's barbell, please. When it comes to the WOD, just with the high amount of heavy breathing that's going to take place, as opposed to having alternating stations, we're going to ask that everyone faces in a single direction, so you're at no point facing into someone else. So if we're working out over here, I'm going to walk to the pull-up bar if I need to, and then as I go back to the previous station, I'm just going to walk backwards, just being really careful not to trip over anything on the way back. But we should be designing the workouts such that there won't be too much back and forth taking place. When required, each station will also be provided with a rower, with one exception of the end platform where there will be an air bike. The rowers will be stacked up in this fashion. We're going to ask that you make sure that when you take it out that you're on one side of the platform, so the left-hand side of the platform, and the fan is always facing towards the wall. Try and avoid bumping it against the wall like I just did. When it comes to cleaning, try and keep a note of those pieces of equipment that you'll use, that are going to be used in the workout. Make sure that you clean all of the high touch points, and also try and make sure that when it comes to touching equipment, the less parts of the equipment that you use, the less you're going to have to clean afterwards. So, for example, on the bumper plates, just try and touch the outside of the plates, so that when it comes to cleaning, all you have to do is then wash the outside. Don't get your hands all over the middle, everywhere. That's just going to increase the amount of work that you're going to need to do at the very end. Repeat on the mats as well. Each station is going to be provided with a mat, so anytime that you're going to be breathing heavy in a certain direction or touching the floor, for example, during burpees, then make sure that your hands and any body parts remain on that mat surface. At the end of the session, full session again, these will need to be wiped. They'll either be with the wipes, or we will try and provide you also with the opportunity of using a steam cleaner just to give it a nice good clean and make sure that it is bacteria free. For the time being, we're not going to be using water fountains, so please make sure you do bring your own water, or you can buy some water or knockos at the front desk. Also with the chalk buckets aren't going to be used at the moment, so either make sure that you bring in a piece of chalk that you would have been given previously, or you can also purchase a small bag of chalk at the front desk. Like I said at the beginning, please just be very vigilant, just make sure that you're cleaning everything, and be aware that it's not just for your own safety, but it's also for the safety, the comfort and the security of your fellow members, coaches and the other front of house staff. So try and make a note of everything that we've said, and if there's anything else that you can think of or you'd like us to consider, then please let us know.